Hello, I'm Michael McHugh, Editor-in-Chief and creator of MiNDFOOD, and it's actually our 6th birthday. This is the month that we launched 6 years ago, and it's hard to believe because the time has actually gone pretty quickly. We now have so many different platforms that you can access the content of MiNDFOOD. So we thought what we might do is take you behind the scenes to meet all the different staff. So all those names that you see every month in the magazine, you're going to meet today. So let's go behind the scenes and you can see the world of MiNDFOOD.
I'm Nikki Birrell and I'm the Chief Sub-Editor of MiNDFOOD magazine.
And for those people listening today, what does a Chief Sub-Editor do?
Well, I think there is a common misconception that our job is just to correct spelling mistakes. What we do is we get raw copy in from our writers and we just whip it into shape. So we write headings and what we call cells, which is the little introduction blurb. And once that's on the layout, we cut the copy to fit, we write captions, we fact check, which is quite a major part.
Now tell me, what's been one of your favourite stories?
I think Carolyn Enting, our associate editor, she did a story about sex slavery, and she interviewed the detective in the room where we were working, so I heard the entire interview, and as harrowing as it was to hear that firsthand, I think that what she did with that story, turning it into such a fantastic, informative read, was really exciting and just felt really worthwhile, like drawing people's attention to a really worthy cause.
And tell me, what's your least favourite part of the job?
Fact checking. Because I like all the creative stuff, so sometimes when you're just trawling through information, it's a little bit dull.
Best part of the job?
Working with a bunch of creative people is quite exciting, and hearing all the stories of everyone's very interesting days.
Hi, I'm Kerry Walker. I'm account manager at MiNDFOOD.
And what does that mean?
Well, I work on the advertising side of the business with Howard.
Now you've been with us, I think, since, was it the 3rd or the 4th issue?
3rd or the 4th issue, yes.
And tell me, how much has it changed for you, or how much do you think the brand has evolved, I guess, since then?
Do you know what? You can sit down with those early issues and get lost in them all over again. So in many ways, we've stayed really, really true to what we do. The content's always been great. The way we've changed is how we share it. We're now online, we've got iPad app, we've got loads of e-newsletters going out each week. We've got so many different platforms and voices for that content.
Do you have a favourite story?
Oh, Michael, there's been so many stories, wonderful stories that have the potential to really change lives. We talk about people with tragedies, but it's always on the upbeat, what you can do about it. We've had people phone in and want to start new charities over some of our stories.
What's the toughest part of the job?
Sitting down, I hate that. And typing up proposals, and it's more fun getting out and about and chatting to people. That'd probably be it.
Hi, my name's Liz Hancock and I'm the Beauty Director of MiNDFOOD.
Now, for those people listening, what does a beauty director do?
So I basically sift through all of the new launches that are going on, look at all of the industry trends, so it can be something as minimal as a new mascara brush that everyone's going to be picking up on, to emerging science and research that's going on.
What's your favourite part of the job? And I ask that because I think a lot of women look in and see a job like that and think, oh, I would love to be a beauty editor or a beauty director or be involved in that.
I think it's the people. I trained in fashion journalism, but my first ever job was in beauty journalism, and I just quickly realised that people that are attracted to this industry are really fantastic, down-to-earth, genuine people.
What is your favourite story that you've read in MiNDFOOD since launching?
So it was Carolyn's sex slavery story, because that was something, certainly living in Europe, that I was really aware of, and very inspired. Emma Thompson had done a lot of work with organisations to promote the issue in Europe, and so to have a magazine to be ballsy enough to run that story, I think was really, really important. There are very few magazines that would run a story like that, and it is such an important issue.
Worst or trickiest part of the job?
Just literally sifting through all the information that comes in. I mean, there are sometimes 200 fragrance launches a year. Sometimes you have to leave out things that you absolutely love. Thankfully with MiNDFOOD we've got so many different platforms that we can talk about things and get things out to people. So, I'm always sort of tweeting about something new that's hit my desk that might have just launched but it's missed the latest issue. And so having that platform to be able to tell people, oh, look what just arrived on my desk.
Hello, I'm Michelle McHugh. I'm the food director of MiNDFOOD, and I'm here with Michael McHugh today. Would you like to tell me what your favourite cover is, Michael?
I still like the Penelope Cruz one.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I
The
still
first
think
one?
that's good. But Michelle, it's not about me, it's about you.
Oh, sorry.
So not only are you the food director, you're also the owner of MiNDFOOD. So did you think after 6 years it would be as big as it has become?
I hoped it would be this successful, but I don't think we focus on the success of it, do we? We just focus on the enjoyment of putting great content together, working with, wonderful people who are very like-minded. It's nice to sit down and have time to talk to people and talk to the staff. And, I loved meeting you yesterday, and you told me the feedback you'd had from, people here, and they used the recipes, and they always make you feel good, and it's always nice to hear those stories.
Is it hard juggling life and mum with 3 kids and working alongside your husband?
It's been challenging. I've worked 6 years in the business every day, really hard, and any mum can say it's really hard to balance. You lose your way on some things and you focus hard on other stuff. But I think as a mum, my goal this year is to get that balance back, and I really want to get fit, healthy, and as a team, we really enjoy sharing that with each other in the work environment. And we get, today we're sitting there with boxes of chocolates and I've been eating them with everyone else. But I think we've created an environment that's full of that love that we do take home and we share it. So my goal this year is just to relax and get the balance back.
Hello, I'm Howard John. I'm the sales director for MiNDFOOD magazine in New Zealand.
Now, that's a very important job.
It is, yes.
It is. Tell us what that job does.
Primarily it's to get the advertising revenue in each month, but we also look at sponsorship and relationship growing and building the brand in New Zealand, so getting it out there. And
Across all the different platforms?
we don't focus on any one platform, it's whatever the client needs. Ideally it's across them all, but obviously the magazine is probably a bit more important just because of the deadlines and the production value behind it, but definitely we're right across the board.
What's the toughest part of the job?
Like, I think everyone will say deadlines. You can't get away from that, and it's always, you move through one deadline and then you have a little relax and the next one starts coming. So that's probably the toughest part, but at the same time it keeps you pretty honest.
6-year birthday, kind of hard to believe, isn't it, that it's gone? Because you've been there pretty much every birthday issue.
Yeah. It's I don't know how many issues we've done, but it's a lot of deadlines. But it's great to see, with our circulation, our readership, how it's growing each time, and it's always a great story to tell, and that's every issue is a great story to tell. But a birthday, it just you can shout to that a bit louder. So.
My name is Jennifer. I'm a sub-editor, which basically means making sure all the copy is correct and reads well.
What's the best part of the job that you like doing?
The best part for me is getting to read all the amazing stories before everyone else, and also seeing the amazing images that we use, all the photographs and what design chooses to use.
I know you get to read all the stories first, as soon as they land. Is there a story that we've run that's been a real standout for you that you've really loved?
Well, for me personally, I actually enjoy reading the psychology stories the most. There have been a few which are really amazing, and everyone loves the sex trafficking one, or found it really compelling. But I always find those ones really interesting, and the woman who does that, Mary Grogan, just has a really cool way with expressing what she's talking about.
Now, you haven't been at MiNDFOOD for as long as a lot of the staff. Is it what you thought it was going to be like looking in?
It is quite similar, yeah. I definitely expected to be working with a small team of people who are all really passionate about their jobs, and that's exactly what it is.
You get a lot of chocolate delivered, it seems.
We do get a lot of lovely perks, yeah.
I'm Philippa Munro. I'm advertising coordinator and office manager.
So we'll start with the advertising. What do you do in the whole advertising component of the business?
The main part is chasing up all the advertising material to make sure it gets to the printer on time, and it's in the right spot in the magazine, and make sure all the specs are right so there's nothing wrong, it's not going to print with mistakes or anything like that.
And what about the office managing part?
Office managing, basically answer most of the phone calls, take orders for our CDs and cookbooks and things like that.
Now tell me, what's your favourite cover?
I really love Helena Bonham Carter.
Yes.
Thought that was gorgeous, and I really like her, she's interesting.
And what about the story?
Story, the Meryl Streep profile was really good, enjoyed that. Big fan of Meryl Streep, so that was good.
And what's the best part of your job?
Probably the team I work with. We all get on really well. We're a really small team, but we all great personalities and everyone gets on really well with each other.
And what's the worst bit? You said not to ask.
Don't ask me. I suppose it's all the accounts things, the admin.
And the volume, because there is a lot of volume of that, isn't there?
There's a lot of it, and I have got a bad habit of letting it build up and then having to spend 2 days just doing accounts, which is really frustrating.
Hi, my name is Carolyn Enting and I'm the Associate Editor of MiNDFOOD.
Now, what does an associate editor do?
Goodness, where do I start?
Big job.
Yeah, it's great. Like I do a little bit of writing, I go to lots of events, I get a lot of emails, I receive a lot of wonderful emails from people with sharing great story ideas, which I then need to follow up, and I have to sort through the stuff and see what's a really good product that would be, of interest to Mindful readers and what's not.
Hey, now a lot of the staff have actually mentioned when I've said what is the best story, they've loved your story of the sex trafficking because it was an extraordinary story. But do you have a favourite story?
Yeah, I guess one of those would be it'd be a very memorable story because it really hit home. It was a very serious issue. It was something that prior to me stumbling across it, I was actually unaware of the extent of it, and so I thought it was a really important story to tell, and our readers have really responded to it. It's been really widely talked about, which is wonderful because it means that we can start fighting sex trafficking in a really positive way.
Is it what you thought it was going to be like coming to work on MiNDFOOD?
It's been it just keeps getting better and better. So it's really fun. It's lots and lots of hard work. We're not out there swanning around all the time as people think we do. We don't spend our lives eating and drinking and schmoozing at fashion events or whatever. There's a lot of hard work that goes in behind it.
Hard to believe it's 6 years, isn't it?
Yeah. I remember that first issue, coming out on the stands and going, I want to work for this magazine, it's fantastic.